Guys, Sunday, March the 1st, it's just after 11 o'clock in the morning, and kind of pleasant in the garage. It's getting close to 15 degrees Celsius, and the heater is actually not running, which is kind of nice. Not a bad day outside today. It's creeping up in temperature. I think it's only about -6 out there, so yeah, going in the right direction. So I've got the parts drying, the primer drying on these parts over here that are hanging. So we really don't want to make too much dust out of here today. So I think what we'll do is we'll do a sort of a quiet project today, and we'll reassemble the brake back plates with the brake components. So I've dug those out. We're going to clean them up a little bit more, and we'll get those plates reassembled as far as we can go. All right, guys. Disassembled the brake adjuster, and it's in good shape. Just wanted to take it apart and clean it. So here are the components. It's just a little the little adjuster, which is basically a wedge that screws up through the bottom, and then it pushes these pins out to adjust the brake pads. So just want to give you a quick shot of that. We're just cleaning it out, and then we'll lube it up, and we'll reinstall it into the back plate. Alright guys, that brake back plate is done. The old components are put back in, and we've used the old cylinder, the old adjuster, which I think are better quality anyway. We've even managed to use the old rubber boot on this one, which was in good shape, and it fits really well. And we used the old locking plates, so we just cleaned those up a little bit. So those look good. There's what they look like on the inside. So in good shape. So we'll do a little Sesame Street action here. So we got the before, pretty crusty. After. Before. After. Hey guys, just a quick update for you. It's Monday night, March the 2nd. It's about 8:30. And just a quick update out in the garage. I'm not sure if I took a video of these yesterday or not. But anyway, the back plates are now fully assembled with the brake shoes and all of the rest of the components, so they're ready to go back on the car. So they're just sitting there. We'll cover those up so we don't get any overspray on them. And we're going to do the last coat of chassis black on the remaining parts for the rear of the car. And we'll get those out of the way. We'll let them dry overnight, and then we'll hopefully get to assembling those in the next couple days. I still haven't received my parts order yet, so once that gets here, it should move things along rather nicely. Alright guys, talk to you later. Alright guys, Tuesday, March the 3rd, and back out in the garage. Parts look good. I think what we're going to do now is we're going to start working on the rear drums, and we'll get those cleaned up and into paint as best we can. And then we'll probably move on to maybe cleaning up the rear axles a little bit, since they're going to have to go back into the rear axle tubes at some point. So I've got under that plastic over there, just keeping the dirt off of it. So yeah, I think that's what we'll do, is we'll clean that up, and then we'll clean those up, maybe give them a quick coat of paint, and get them ready to be back on the car, hopefully by the end of the week. Well, the brake drums have been painted, and they're looking good. They're just sitting there drying. I'm trying not to create too much dust, although I can see they've already got some dust on this one, but that's okay. Anyway, looking for small projects to do without creating too much dust, so we're on to playing around with this brake, the rear brake adjuster. This is for the emergency brake cables. So we've got some extra bits here. Here's the one that came off the car, and it's seized solid. So I did manage to find the one from my parts car, which is in better shape. I've just sort of cleaned that off really quickly. And I actually have some of the spare cables. So what I've been doing is I've just been cleaning the spares up and just running some steel wool across them, and they're coming up quite nicely actually. So we're going to continue on to clean those up. I mean, that's what they look like before. So they're a little dull and tarnished, so they look quite a bit nicer once they've been steel wooled. So that's all I'm doing to those, and then what we'll do is we'll take this apart, we'll throw that in the blast cabinet, and we'll get that painted up and ready to go back on the car. So just wanted to give you a quick shot of that. Just another small project that we need to get out of the way. Hey guys, Tuesday night, just a little bit of a quick update. I think you've pretty much seen most of my progress up to this point. I just had a bit of a cleanup in the garage and was sort of putting things just in one place. I've had them sort of strewn about the garage, so just wanted to give you a quick shot of what I've got going on out here that I've been working on for the last week. So I've already talked about them in other videos, but those are the axle straps, the diff cover. There's the drum brakes that I did today. The springs are now painted, and I've shown you the rear brake back plates complete now. And I showed you those cables that I'd shined up, and they came up quite nicely actually. So you can almost see the cadmium plating still on that one. So they're good to go. And I'm not sure if I ever showed you a close-up of the diff or the rear axle. So that looks good. It's ready to go. Nice and dry. A little dusty, I had to dust it off, but that's ready to go. So yeah, making progress. Slow, but we're making progress. So I've got on the other table here, on the other end of the table, some of the bits that still need to be done. I'm going to separate those rotors from the hubs, and we'll get some new rotors eventually. I've got the axles to check out the bearings and the seals, and we're going to clean those up and give those a paint. Now the calipers, I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to scavenge the calipers off of this car. Apparently, doing some research, the 1960 that I have, according to the commission number, it shouldn't have these calipers with the cross tube. It should have a later caliper, which I actually have in the storage shed. So what I think I'm going to do is pull the wrong ones off of this car, get the ones out of the shed, and we'll put them back on the 60 as they should be, and we'll take the ones out the 60 that have been rebuilt and we'll put them on the 59. So that's the plan there. So those will be some backup calipers. And I've got that little handbrake compensator. I'm not sure what the actual terminology for it is, but we've got the handbrake piece to clean up still. And then we got that ugly looking front sway bar to sand down and repaint. Quite happy the way the rear came out, so I'm sure the front will come out just as well. Anyway, so that's just a brief overview of what I've been doing for the last week or so, I guess. And yeah, still waiting on those parts. And once I have those parts, it'll be nice to start getting stuff off the tables and back onto the car. I'm not usually one to actually order parts and wait for them. Usually I have them sort of stockpiled in the dining room or inside the house ready to go. So it's a bit of a annoyance to me to be waiting on parts. But like I said, this is a budget build. I'm not changing everything. I'm only changing what needs to be changed. So I'm trying to keep ahead of the game and ordering some parts as I know that I'll need them. But it's not like my 60 TR3 where I basically had everything new to choose from. Same with my TR6. It was just a free-for-all of spending. So we're trying not to do that on this part. We'll order them stuff as we require it. But like I said, it's just taking me a little while to adapt to the pace of getting the parts in the mail. So that's about it for now, guys. We'll upload this for tonight, and we'll get back out here tomorrow, and we'll probably continue working on the small things first, like that little compensator. We'll get that out of the way, and then we'll move on to maybe looking at the axles, and then we'll probably finish up that front sway bar. Alright guys, that's it for tonight. We'll talk to you later.